Going on, guys? Shadow Trucker again. It's the December 6th today, 9:42. Still over here in Kansas City, Missouri. So I did end up signing with RTI. I told you guys I'd fill you in once I got that taken care of. I finally got that ticket removed from my record that was holding me up. So on Friday, I put in my application and it got sent through and approved. And they move pretty quick. Like, they send you everything that you need. Usually they'll do it a week before your orientation date, your orientation start date. But since the holidays coming up so soon, and I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks on vacation, they did mine a little faster. So I got everything submitted in. It was either Thursday or Friday of last week, and they sent me the link for all the videos I needed to watch and answer the questions to. They sent me the clearinghouse request, so they could see all that stuff, the crap to get my license checked, all that. And then I'd say within an hour of them getting all that approved and taken care of, the transportation coordinator called me, and they instantly got me set up for travel. They'll either fly you out or get you a rental vehicle to drive. I chose the rental because I was bringing everything with me. So as soon as I'm done with orientation, I can go ahead and just bring all that stuff over to my truck and load it in there, and not have to worry about taking a trip back home to get it all unloaded and everything. I can just start running from once I'm done with orientation. And they don't get you a small vehicle either. They get you whatever you drive, kind of, I guess. I drive an F-150, so they actually ended up getting me an F-150. I don't think they knew I drove one, but I mean, that's pretty sure they assume we all drive trucks. So they got me an F-150 from home. They rented it from Saturday through this Tuesday. Now, whenever you bring it to orientation, they want you to drop it off the day you get here. They don't pay anything past that, supposedly. So I went over there and I basically just told the rental car place, like, I just need to get this switched over into my name, and you can charge the company for up until, that day, and I'll pay for the rest of it, which they ended up telling me I don't have to. But that's not how it is for everybody. It's up to the company based on, what your situation is. Because mine's supposed to go back to where I live anyways, the same state. So if I didn't get hired, I could just keep the truck, take it back home, and just pay for the last 2 days. That's not happening. I'm getting hired. So we did orientation today, day one. And it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, they don't open the doors till 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:55, 8 o'clock. So you get to the hotel, give them your name at the check-in desk. They got a key card for you. They have meal voucher tickets. I think they're about $25. Another $25 for dinner. They might be $25 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is really weird because they serve you lunch in the classroom for orientation at 12 o'clock. So you don't have to go to the restaurant and get lunch. So I don't know why they gave us lunch vouchers, but they gave us, breakfast, lunch, dinner vouchers. And you can go in there at 7 in the morning to eat breakfast, be in the class at 8. 12 o'clock, you get lunch. And then when you're done, they have the restaurant open from 4 to 10 p.m. for dinner. You get your own rooms. It's a non-smoking hotel. It's actually really nice. It's clean. So I haven't had any problems with it. It's better than the one that, Landair sent me to, but, like I said in the very first video, it doesn't matter what the fucking hotel looks like. You're here for 2 or 3 days, and you're gone. You don't got to pay for it or any of that, so it's cool. So for day one, when we got in there, or whenever you first walk over there, before you can go in the conference room, you have to get your temperature taken, and tell them if you took a plane or a car. If you have a car, they want to collect the keys so they can turn them in if you haven't already done so. And then you go into the classroom and they ask you if you're a lease purchase, a company, or owner operator, and they'll they generally have the room set up lease purchase on one side, company on the other. Owner operators, I don't know if they come through orientation or not, so I'm not going to say they do or don't. You go in there, you sit down. They have a folder with you, some paperwork in it, and then there's another sheet that's like the first sheet you'll fill out, just with your general information, which one you signed up for, lease purchase, owner operator, company, your name, your emergency contact info, crap like that. And then they'll go over, all the crap that they sent you. Did you watch all the videos that we sent you? If not, we need to get those taken care of. Have you already done your DOT physical and your urinalysis? If not, they'll send you to the clinic to get those done, which is, I did mine today because they sent me the stuff, but they told me it was going to be done here, so I did mine today. They'll also do your road test on day one if you need a road test. Not everybody gets one. I think it's if you have under a certain amount of drive time under your belt. I think they'll make you take the road test. And I think it's like less than 6 months or right at 6 months to 9 months, somewhere in there. They make you take the road test. So I didn't have to. At first they thought I did, and then they relooked at the computer and they were like, "No, you're good. You don't got to do that." You will need to bring 2 forms of identification. Not all companies make you do it. They do need that here. You have to have either your driver's license, military ID, just a photo identification if you don't have your state ID if you don't have your driver's license. That's one form, and then you have to have your social security card, your birth certificate, something like that that can prove you are who you say you are. You'll turn those in. They'll make copies of them, give them back to you. If you're military, you need to bring your DD-214 or your record of release from National Guard, whatever you have, and that'll get you additional pay. Excuse me, my throat has been killing me. Freaking dry weather. For the military paperwork, when you turn that in, from what I've heard, it's an extra 1 cent per mile for company drivers and an extra 3 cents per mile for lease purchase. But one of the other guys, he was told it's an additional 10 cents per mile. So I'll try to figure that out tomorrow or Wednesday. We should all be done by Wednesday morning, or at least for lease purchase. Company should be done Wednesday afternoon or Thursday possibly. Now, for the company drivers, your pay is not all the same. So don't ask me what that one is exactly this time. The lowest I've seen it, though, was I think 53 cents a mile. That was the lowest one. And so it kind of depends on whatever route you're on. Some of them, 55 cents a mile. There's other ones that I've seen where they're paying, 75 cents a mile because you get less miles. So the pay makes up for the less miles to kind of even it out, essentially. There are other ones where there's guaranteed paychecks, which, they just started a new one out of Tennessee. I believe it's in Nashville, and it's running, I want to say they're Target loads or Tractor Supply load. Can't remember which one, but that one's like a guaranteed $1,600 a week minimum. So, pretty much what I had over at Land Air, where if you drive not enough miles to make the $1,600, you'll get paid it. Now, if you drive, 3,000 miles and that equates to more than $1,600, then they're going to pay you the cent per mile so that you make, whatever the highest pay was. This time, however, like I told you guys before, I'm doing the lease purchase side of the house. So I'm going to make anywhere, which the email here, I'm reading this stuff, so it's exactly what I'm going to be making. It's $1.16 to $1.21 per mile, plus your fuel surcharge. You get 100% of the fuel surcharge. If you don't know what the fuel surcharge is, basically whenever they get a load to carry for, or a load to deliver for somebody, the person that we are carrying that load for has to pay a certain amount for fuel. They charge them a certain cent per mile, and they'll pay for that. And so let's say I spend, for the week I spend $1,000 on fuel, and out of all of those loads that I've carried, it equals out to $700 fuel surcharge. That all goes back into my pocket, so I basically only paid $300 for fuel instead of the actual $1,000, because you're getting that fuel surcharge back, or not back, but you're getting the fuel surcharge for you. The company doesn't keep any of that. And then at the Pilot and Flying J's, you also have, it's a 10 to 12 cent discount, per gallon, if I remember correctly. And that goes to you also. The company doesn't take that. Now the pay for the $1.16 to $1.21, it's paid full and empty. And you also get time and safety bonuses, which is on here. And then as of right now, it's a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Originally it was $750, and now it jumped up to $5,000. You don't get the whole thing at once. You get $500 a week for the first 10 weeks you're with the company. I'm not sure if they still do the $250 a week also for the first 10 weeks to help with your truck payment. I can't remember, because I know they were doing that at one point. It was $2,500. So, $250 a week for the first 10 weeks to get the lease purchase guys started off on the right foot, so they weren't going right into the hole immediately, which you kind of can't go into the hole unless you're just turning down loads and fucking yourself over. And then that's on you. You can't blame anybody for that. The accessorial pay is normal. Just about every company, they pay the same thing. You're going to get detention pay after 2 hours. It's $20 an hour. Layover, it's $125 if it's over 24 hours, and stop pay is $25 per stop, not including the first stop or the final stop. And then as far as payment options go, you can do variable, fixed. That was a little bright in the background. So you can do, we'll start this over. So you can do a fixed payment, which will be $708 to $738 a week based on whichever equipment you choose. The variable, which is what I'm going to do because it helps with your home time. The variable pay is 27 cents to 30 cents per mile based on the equipment. And then for teams, if you have somebody you're going to drive with, you guys could do lease purchase also. Excuse me. And that's $865 to $1,100 per week. But it's not being taken from each of you. You're paying that together, essentially. So for the way the fixed payment works, even if you are not driving, like you're taking time off, you still have to pay that $708 to $738 per week, even if you're not driving that week, on top of the other pay that you have to pay for your APU and your maintenance plan, your best pass, your geotab, your IFTA, your highway use tax, all that stuff. You have to pay all of that. So you could be paying anywhere from like $1,200 to, I'd say high end $1,600, a week. Now, if you do the variable payment plan, you don't have any truck payments for the weeks that you take off. Listen to that carefully. You don't have truck payments. So that's $700, whatever, or the 27 to 30 cents, not the 700, the 27 to 30, oh, yes, you could have the 27 to 30 cents, though, for the variable one. You won't pay that for that week if you're off. You will pay for everything else still, all the stuff I just listed, the maintenance plan, the IFTA, the heavy use tax, all that stuff. You'll pay for that week. So, that'll be $500 to $700 roughly. So basically they have an escrow account and you keep the money in there. So whenever you're off, that escrow can pay for those, and your escrow is also used for your maintenance plan, I believe, once your truck goes over 300,000 miles. If you're under 300,000 miles, the maintenance plan that you pay into covers your truck bumper to bumper. So if something happens, you don't pay for shit. Let's say, you get hired on, you're paying all your normal stuff, your truck has 150,000 miles on it when you get it. You go out, your first week and you blow all your fucking tires somehow. You'll call the company, they'll send somebody out to change all your tires, and they pay for the entire thing because you're paying into that maintenance plan. That's how that works. Now, the equipment that they have, it's 2020 to 2022 Freightliners and Internationals. Apparently, they have a few Peterbilts and Kenworths still, but I'm pretty sure they said they were trying to phase all of that out, but they still have a few of them. They also still have some 2019s as of right now. Now, there are different ones though. So whenever you come, make sure you have in your head, some whatever the truck is that you want, or at least some kind of general understanding of which truck you want. So when you come in, basically like, I want a 2020 Cascadia with an APU. I want a black one if you have it, or the blue one, or the blue and black, or the blue and chrome, or the black on black. And if they have it, they'll try to get it for you. They'll put you in it if they have it, sorry. If they don't have it on the lot, they will put you in a temporary truck until they have one that you want on the lot available. And then they'll bring you in to check it, make sure it's good, make sure it has, what you want, and they'll put you in it. Now, apparently these trucks are supposed to come with fridges and inverters. Most of the trucks do have APUs, but the ones that I was reading online for them is, you can go on their website, riverside.transport.com, and you can go on the lease purchase thing and you can see the available equipment. It's not exactly what they have on the lot at the time. It's just that's the equipment they do get. The 2022 Cascadias that are on there are black on black, and I believe there was a blue on black also. And some of them do not have APUs. You use that optimized idle thing that I explained in one of my other videos from when I was with Land Air. So the thing between the optimized idle and the APU, if you have an APU, you pay $90 a week for that. I've already read into that one, so I know that one for sure. You pay $90 a week for the APU. If you have this APU, under your bunk, you're going to have all that shit. Like, remember, if you go back and look at my videos from when I opened my bunk showing you guys the inside of my truck, there was nothing under there except for that bunk heater, the S-bar heater. Now, if you have that APU, you're going to have your AC unit and all that other friggin' ventilation tubing and shit under there. You're not going to have as much storage. If you don't have the APU and you do the optimized idle, underneath your bed is empty and you can store a whole bunch of shit under there like I used to. My exercise bike, my roller bag to carry my stuff on and off the truck, laundry and extra food if I need to bring it on. I also stored my windshield wipers under there, my dirty laundry bag, all that stuff. Bunch of room. So I'm going to try to get me one again like that without the, goodness gracious, without the APU. That's personal preference for that one. But yeah, it says they come with either APU, OptiIdle, fridges, and inverters. For the maintenance plan, like I said, it's full service, bumper to bumper warranty, and it's 10 cents per mile. It covers part and labor in full at no cost to the driver until, I think it's when you're over 300,000 miles. It doesn't specify that on here. That's just what I was told at one point. I'm not sure if that one's changed. It may have. It says if the truck you want within our fleet is not available during orientation, we will put you on the wait list and put you in a temporary truck until your choice truck becomes available, like I just said. And I think after you've been with the company for 2 years, I believe, you can actually sit down with the owner and spec out a truck that you want. And they will go with you to the dealership, spec it out, pay for it, have it built, have it delivered. That'll be your truck. Well, let me rephrase that. It will be technically the company's truck until you pay it off, because he doesn't just go over there and buy it for you and give it to you just because you've been with the company for 2 years. No, they will go pay for that new vehicle and have it brought here, and that will be your new lease purchase vehicle. So you'll start paying on that new vehicle. Now you could finish, your first lease purchase, finish your truck, and then decide to do that. Or you could be at 2 years, still haven't paid your truck off, and decide to do that if they let you still, and then start paying on that one instead. There is a driver that did do that. I haven't met him. This was one of my buddy that works here. He's one of the other drivers. He's the one that told me about it because he heard about it. They did have a driver at one point, and the owner did go and spec out a truck with him, and this truck was like loaded. It was nice from what I was told. Like, it had everything. It was expensive. And they got it for the driver. They put the driver in it, and once he got in there, he just started turning down loads. Nope, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. If you start doing that after they spec out a truck, the same thing that happened to him is going to happen to you. The owner's going to turn around, take your truck from you, and put you back in another fucking truck and say you can either drive that or you can leave. Which, in my opinion, that's totally fucking fair. He just went and spec'd out a brand new truck for you, spent all that money out of his pocket, and you just turned around and fucked him. Because if you're not running it, you're not making money back for the company. Like, I get it at that point, you get lazy because you're just like, oh, it's my truck. I can do whatever I want. Understand that you can, but there's a limit to that. And you have to realize that. Okay, for the rider policy, it's $38 a month. And they must be over 10 years old. And they can get in the truck with you after your very first load. There's also occupational accidental insurance that you have to pay for if you're on the lease purchase side, and it's $35 per week. The rider one, though, it's $38 per month. So don't get those two mixed up. For pets, there's a $750 deposit that's taken out at $75 a week for 10 weeks, and your pet must be up to date on shots. They also ask that your pet is under 40 pounds, so it stays small on the truck. You can't have exotic animals, like lizards, snakes, other crap like that. For your e-logs, they use a GeoTab. It's a tablet. It's actually pretty nice. It has unlimited data and hotspot capabilities. So as long as you're in that truck, if you want to watch movies, online, you got a hotspot in there. It's free. They don't charge you for it. Utilize the hell out of it. For your fuel, you get a Com Data card. And like I said, Pilot Flying J, 12-cent discounts. So the Com Data card, with your fuel for the lease purchase side, they will let you use their card, their fuel card. And the way it works is you go there, you use their card to get your fuel. Whenever your settlement sheets come in, they deduct that fuel from the money that you've made. It's just so you're not paying for the fuel out of your pocket immediately. Whatever your money you're making, they'll just deduct it at your pay time. And the way their pay is set up, it's from Wednesday until Tuesday at midnight. That's their pay schedule. So yeah, you use their card. When your settlements come in, they deduct that off of your pay to get that money back. And then for orientation, it's $500. Now, to get into the lease purchase side, it's no money down, no credit check, and it is a true walk-away lease. This company is a at-will hire, at-will fire company. So, you can also at-will quit too. So you can basically quit whenever you want to. You could come in and then just turn around and just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you can just leave that same day with no explanation. You don't got to explain why. Now, it works the same way for the company too. If they don't, want you working here, they can just turn around and fire you for no reason. They don't have to have a reason to fire you. So they do ask though that if you are going to leave, they do ask for a 2-week notice. So they can work all that out, get you some loads that'll bring you towards your house so you can get your truck emptied out, and then ask you to bring your truck back, or they'll ask you to drop your truck and say they're going to have somebody else pick it up, which apparently they've done before, just so people don't have to drive a vehicle here and then get a ticket back to their house or whatever. So yeah, so as of right now, that's where I'm at. What did I miss? Do your paperwork, make sure your videos are done. Whenever you do the DOT physical and drug screen, they split it up into 2 groups. One group will go in the morning, and that's usually the group that has most of their stuff done, if not everything done. The second group will go in the afternoon. That way they can kind of work on their videos or their paperwork or whatever else needs to get done, and then they'll go in the afternoon. Also, the people that need to do a road test will go do their physical in the morning also, or sorry, in the afternoon, so that they can do their road test early in the morning, because once that, I think it's like 11:30 time frame hits, that's when Mike Cease, I believe he's the director of safety or the head of safety, or he's somewhere up there high in the safety. He will actually do your road test with you. He'll bring the truck and trailer over to the hotel, do a full walk around with you guys, make sure everything's good to go, and then you go out on the road for your test. And like I said, I believe that's just for guys that don't have enough time under their belt, just to make sure they're good to go. And then as long as you have everything done, pretty much right after lunch is over, they'll let you go back to your room if you have everything done that needs to be done. Your paperwork turned in, your videos watched, your drug screen, your physical, all that. They'll just, hey, you guys are good. Go ahead and you can go back to your room if you want to. You can hang out here. You can go do whatever. It's your time now. It's pretty much gonna be the same thing tomorrow. There's gonna be some more paperwork to go over. Safety's gonna talk to us about a few things. Lease purchase is gonna cover some stuff, and then Wednesday morning, the lease purchase drivers should pretty much be done, and we'll get taken to the lot, or drive to the lot if we have our rental vehicle still, and go check out the trucks and get into our trucks and start getting everything set up so we can start going on the road. And then the company drivers will be staying in the classroom, going over a few more things, and then in the afternoon, the company drivers will be transported to the terminal so that they can go get put in their trucks. Company drivers, you do not get to pick your trucks, and unless they have an abundance, and they don't care. They usually try to hold some of the trucks that are nicer for the lease purchase guys, because we are buying these trucks. We're not using them, beating them up, and then leaving the company. I mean, some people do. That's just how they are. If you're going to do lease purchase, though, there's no point in you staying here for a year and then walking away. If you can finish a year doing your lease purchase, you might as well stay, because some of these trucks you can pay off in 2 to 3 years. Or if you don't need money and you're rich and you just want to buy a truck, you can come in here, buy the truck in a year, and then you got a truck. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'll probably try to make a video either tomorrow or Wednesday once I've gone through more stuff, so I can fill you guys in on that. But as of right now, this company is seeming better. I mean, Lander seemed good at the beginning too, but this company seems about the same. They're all real friendly, real nice. They're definitely expedite all of your stuff. They don't try to sit there and hold you. Land Air didn't really try to hold me either. There were people that asked a lot more questions there, I guess. Well, actually, no. People here asked more questions than at Land Air, but they covered them. They had like 3 or 4 people in that classroom. They would all go to different individuals. They'd come up to you one by one, answer your questions, go to somebody else, answer their questions. It was really, really fast. Land Air kept us there, until late in the afternoon. It didn't really ruin anything. It was just a little later in the afternoon. This company, it's like once you got your stuff done, you can go. The other guys will stay in the classroom until they finish theirs. That's all I got for you guys right now. I mean, I haven't figured anything else out yet, so once I do, I'll update you guys again. Start asking questions for this one, and I'll try to get you some answers on them. And then once I start running as well, I'll get you some answers on some other stuff that I do on the road. See what kind of accounts I get put on, and how many miles I get like that, and everything else. I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe out there.